Jay here for Stretford Paddock. That's Joe Smith. This is Paddock Live. It's not Transfers Live anymore. It's Paddock Live. Transfer season is over. It's done. For now. Forget about it.
They'll bring it back.
They will, hopefully. We're going to be talking about all the latest Manchester United news, and make sure you are getting involved in the chat and the comments and let us know what you think about all these stories. What we're going to be talking about.
We've got loads to talk about, obviously. Mission 21, first of all.
Yeah.
It's not something from NASA.
Okay.
Or
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, very nice. It's
you.
something from him. Sir Dave Brailsford.
Yeah.
What do you think? We have two Knights of the Realm in positions of power at Manchester United. What do you make of that?
What, Fergie and Brailsford?
Well, no, three then. Ferguson, Brailsford and Ratcliffe.
I'm not a fan of the Knights of the Realm, to be honest with you. I don't mind Fergie having it.
You'd accept one.
But, no, I wouldn't.
You would?
I'd Danny Boyle it, me.
No, you'd turn up in a suit of armour.
What did you get, though?
What?
You've got to go to London.
I think you're legally allowed
I don't even think they cover your petrol and all that. No. I think you have to go there off your own back. And you've got to like queue up to see. It's not even the Queen anymore, is it? The King? Yeah. Yeah. King Charles?
Edward.
Edward, right, yeah. King Edward. And then you get a sword on your head or on your shoulder, and it's like, right, you're a sir now. Yeah. What's so great about that? Got to change all your stationery. Do you know what I mean?
You've got to change the sign outside your bedroom door. Because if
like,
it's going to...
The bank as well, it's no longer Mr. Justin Mottershead, it's now Sir Justin of Eccles.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? It's just a load of hassle. Couldn't be arsed,
that's a good point. No, just give me a CBA or something instead.
What's a CBA? Is that what Marcus has got?
Don't know. Not sure exactly. Well, let's see our first story of the day then. Ethan, what we got?
Not a fan.
No, I don't like that at all, that one. Bit harsh, that.
Bit harsh, that, lads.
You've got to a Carabao Cup final, all of a sudden you're calling United players wank. Interesting, that. Because he's won more than your club has in the last 50 years, mate.
Yeah.
Ethan must be bouncing up and down with that victory. He will be in a minute. On a bungee jump of hell. Dipping him straight into the well. Right, get rid of that.
Who came up with that? Yeah.
You, was it? Disgusting, that. Sick of you.
I will not have Shaw's wank bandied around this channel willy-nilly.
Yeah, it's awful. Yeah. Luke Shaw has suffered another injury setback in his return from injury. Lovely. However, it's hoped that the latest problem is not too serious and he'll be back in training soon, Jay. Shaw hasn't started a game for United for almost a year. Is that right? Did he not start any of those games when he came back?
Don't think so.
Oh my God. Due to a succession of muscle injuries and has only made 3 appearances as a substitute under new head coach Ruben Amorim. The 29-year-old England defender has suffered what has been described as a minimal setback in his recovery and could return to training early next week, despite initial fears he faced a longer layoff. Tough stuff in it. We spoke about it before a little bit on Agree or Disagree. His body's just going in it. And hopefully he can have one final kind of 2nd, 3rd, 10th, 12th wind, keep fit for 9 months for someone. But I just don't think that's going to be Man United anymore. I think we'll get to the end of the season and I don't think he's on mega money, but he's in the top 50% of earners at United just because he's been here so long and he's signed a couple of contract extensions. I think this is the end for him, personally. Get back fit, maybe play a couple of games, but I think he'll go in the summer.
I think this summer we've got to be a bit ruthless with some of these players. I think Shaw's got to go. Obviously, there's others we know about like Casemiro and Eriksen who, they've got to go. Mount, I think, has got to go. We just can't be having these players around waiting for the day they're going to get better. No. Like, they're not playing for Manchester United. They're just never fit. And it's a shame because you say, on his day, Luke Shaw is mint, and he is. We said that on the video before. On his day, Mason Mount is the perfect player for this system. Yeah. But they're never fit. No. And you're just wasting time, energy and money waiting for them. And it's sad because he's been here a long time. But what has he played? Less than 40% of the last 5 years or something stupid like that. There was a stat one that I think that went out earlier that Bruno Fernandes is 10 games off of making as many appearances for Manchester United as Luke Shaw, and he signed 6 years after Luke Shaw. And also, let's not forget that for most of that time, Luke Shaw has been the first choice in his position.
Whenever he's fit, he plays.
Yeah, there's only like that brief spell I think under Jose where Ashley Young was probably preferred because Jose just hated Luke Shaw. Yeah. But he's been the first choice left back, and he's just not available. No. And you can't keep saying, well, 3 years ago he was, or 2.5 years ago, whatever it was, it's the same thinking that got us to where we were in a place. Well, 2.5 years ago, Marcus Rashford scored 30 goals. Eventually, you can't live off that. You have to go, is he doing it now? No, let's move him on. Yeah. Luke Shaw, 2.5 years ago, he played 40-odd games for Manchester United. Is he capable of doing that anymore? No. Move him on, man. Just got to move him on. It's sad to say, but he's got to go.
Yeah, I agree. It's similar to sort of Victor Lindelof in that regard, and it's another one on that list of players that you mentioned before that's just, it's not working, it's not going to work. You've had a lot of chances, a lot of time. I think we've just got to go somewhere else after this, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is. It's time to just move on. Let us know what you think in the chat in the comments. Matt H says, fair play, Ethan's got balls going with that headline. Santa Notch says, Shaw, Mount, Casemiro, Martinez, £990,000 per week. I mean, when you look at it like that, 50 million quid a year.
Too much.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's like
absolutely ridiculous.
Good signing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just move on. We've said all we need to say on that.
Yes. Let's have a look. What's our next story? Don't go bacon my heart. What? What's that got to do with anything?
West Ham.
West Ham. Bacon.
I thought it was because of Danish bacon.
Oh yeah.
And that.
And that. Yeah. It wasn't that until we pointed it out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Jay did.
Yeah.
Don't go bacon my heart.
No, not really.
No. West Ham have identified Manchester United striker Rasmus Hojlund as a potential target for the summer. West Ham would explore this deal should they not make Evan Ferguson's loan from Brighton permanent. There is no option to buy. If Ferguson starts scoring goals, the Hammers will face competition for his signature come the summer, and Brighton will be in a position to demand a big fee. Hence why Potter's side are already looking at alternatives like Hojlund. United are considering parting ways with Hojlund in the summer, with Ruben Amorim not convinced by the forward. That's according to Team Talk, who are hardly the most reliable of outlets. Yeah, it's all just a bit nothing, that to me.
It is like...
Because also, it's not suggested that United are willing to sell him, that he wants to join, that West Ham are actually bothered. It's literally, even if it's true, which I doubt, it's literally just looking at alternatives like Hojlund. Is it even Hojlund? Or is it alternatives like him? Do you know what I mean? It all just seems a little bit potential.
There could be, right? The thing is, this could happen.
Yeah.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility if Rasmus Hojlund doesn't rediscover his goal-scoring form, that in the summer, Ruben Amorim says, look, he's just not for me. I mean, he's already wavered a bit with him, hasn't he? This whole Kobbie Mainoo starting up front thing makes me feel like maybe he's losing a little bit of faith in his strikers. So if by the end of the season, Hojlund's got like 8 goals in all competitions, Amorim might just say, look, I didn't buy him. He's not quite the player I need. I want Victor Gyökeres. I don't even want him as a backup. You know, like, you can move him on, and we'll turn to, I don't know, Cheeto or Joshua Zirkzee as the second choice or whatever. But that's a big if. He's still a young lad. He's still shown that he's capable of scoring goals in the Premier League and in the Champions League, for that matter. I know we're not in the Champions League anymore. So there's a good chance he stays at United past the summer. I'd be pretty surprised if he didn't. And also, even if he does go, there's no reason to think that it will definitely be West Ham that get him, or that he wants to go to, or that can match the fee that United want. And then there's the added bit of what Evan Ferguson does might affect things as well. So it feels like it's something that could happen without much evidence to support it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I think it's just a wait and see. I don't imagine this happening, to be honest. But who knows? Who knows how ruthless they're going to be? We've already mentioned, half a dozen players there that need to leave before him. I guess the only thinking might be, you're probably going to get 30, 40 million for him because of his age, because of the fact that, you know, there's still potential there. The likes of Casemiro, Lindelof and Eriksen, there's no potential there.
You're not
it's just a declining
right.
player. So maybe they'll be, like you said, really ruthless and get rid of someone like Hojlund. But again, then what is Zirkzee your only striker? Or, you know, it all is a bit up in the air with the number 9s at the minute. So we'll have to wait and see.
The only way that works for me is if West Ham gave you a bid that was like significant.
Yeah.
Like if they said, we'll give you, I don't know, 55 million, 60 million, and you think, okay, we're taking a little bit of a loss, but not much, then maybe that would be worth it. But I don't know if they would. I don't know if they would. And that's not, I don't hate on Rasmus Hojlund. I think there's a player there, but we'll have to wait and see, won't we? It's a big 4 months for him. It's not just him, but the rest of the sort of...
Yeah, massively.
Basically, the
and
entire
I like him
squad.
as well. Yeah.
I think he's under a bit of a microscope at the minute. Let us know in the chat in the comments. Hit that like button. Do you think that there's anything in that? I mean, I'm not particularly hanging my hat on that one.
Nah.
Ross Murphy says, I haven't given up on Hojlund. I still think he can make it at United. Dan French, we've got to get rid of 2 players We just got rid, of 2 players. Got another few seasons till we get rid of the next one. Yeah, we don't like to get rid of players.
We're a bit better about that these days, though. Last couple of windows have been a bit more ruthless. 100 million we got for sales in the summer.
Yeah.
Not done that for a very long time. So, yeah, maybe a little bit better. We'll see.
Let's see the next one.
Right, what we got next? Here we go. Dave sails toward number 1.
Number 21.
Number 21. What's that? As in, like, the is that meant to sound like Brailsford?
Sails toward.
Is that a pun on the Ineos doing the sailing as well?
Right, Dave sails toward number 21.
I don't mind it. It's probably the best of a bad bunch so far, isn't it? It's poor. It's poor, that. But it's slightly better than the other two. At least you're not calling a United player a wanker.
What, you look like you're screwing up your face, Eddie. What sort? Do you think this is good? Do you think this is a good one? You look like... Sorry? Oh, he thinks the wank one was good.
That was the worst one we've ever had.
Do you reckon?
Offensive. It was truly offensive. I think we might get Ofcom complaints about that one, which we've never had before. So this one's a little bit better. We're a step in the right direction.
Dave sails towards...
What's it called? The America's Cup.
What's this? Sorry.
That was the sailing activity that Ineos have. The America's Cup. Is it Ben Ainsley or Ben Kingsley or something?
They're sailing as well?
Yeah.
Bloody, and cycling?
Yeah. Which they call sailing of the...
roads.
Soil.
Sailing
of the soil, yes. So Dave Brailsford unveils Mission 21 plan. Jay, don't put your hand on your face like that. To help Man United win the Premier League. Here we go. Dave Brailsford, Mission 21. Let's read this. Brailsford, Director of Sport at Ineos, has unveiled his Mission 21 plan, which is all about delivering United's 21st English League title, hence 21. Get it now?
Yeah.
Because you were clueless, man. You get it. The former British cycling chief is set to become increasingly involved in performance at Old Trafford alongside technical director Jason Wilcox. This comes after Dan Ashworth was dismissed as sporting director in December following just 5 months in the role. Brailsford is said to have drafted a blueprint for United's future alongside James Morton, detailing how they plan to win that elusive 21st title. What do you make of it? Mission 21. Do we know anything about what it actually has in it? Nothing at all has been revealed about the contents of Mission 21. All you need to know is they've got a plan, and my word, is it beautiful.
This seems like a bit of a stretch to me.
What?
Like Dave Brailsford's planning how to win the United's 21st title. I mean, I get like he's had some success in other sports or whatever, but this just seems all just pointless to me. Like,
some success is a bit harsh. Jason and Laura Kenny, mate.
Didn't they take over Ineos though, a successful cycling branding team, Sky, and not really take it anywhere? Wasn't it like a bit where it did okay, but not as well as it used to do, and then just sort of fizzled out a bit? Or am I getting that wrong?
Don't focus on that.
Right.
Focus on the Olympics 15 years ago.
All right, because this is the thing of, right, here's how we're going to win the 21st English League title.
Yes.
It's all well and good, but I don't think he's particularly got all the answers to winning a title. I really don't. I mean, he's coming into football for as a relative newcomer to that particular field. It's probably more difficult than it's ever been for United to get to title 21. Because if you look at it now, we've got no one left from Fergie's team. That is a distant memory. I know Evans has come back, but he ain't going to be sticking around. He's 37 or whatever he is. Yeah. And Tommy, he's a similar age, and also they've left and come back. Let's be honest here. Let's get serious about it. We're struggling. We've got no strikers who are scoring goals. We've got these PSR issues where we're just about managing to make that work.
Yep.
You've got 12 teams in the Premier League that are currently better than us.
Yep.
Like, it's never been more difficult, and I'd be amazed if he can just come up with a plan and go, right, this is how we're going to do it, and that works. It just feels all a bit performative to me. It just does. I just think like the obvious plan is back this manager, nurture your academy, and make good transfer signings, and then eventually you'll have success. That seems to me the sort of plan. This whole Mission 21 thing just feels like just words for the sake of it. What do you reckon? I mean, being harsh?
I do think, unfortunately, in businesses, you have phrases and terms and ideas like this where it's called Mission 21 because what do we want to do? It's win the league. And you have to call it something, and then it's something relevant to what it is, and then it becomes this sort of cheesy kind of almost like American Wall Street vibe to it that feels a bit naff. But at the same time, if they have a plan on what type of players we're going to buy, their age, their wages, their kind of potential, maybe looking at different parts of the world to usual, which is something that we seem to be doing. It seems that things are happening a little bit differently. I don't remember the last time we bought a player directly from South America, and we're doing that with Diego Leon, which is something that's a little bit different again, a bit exciting, poaching some slightly more nourished talent from Arsenal that we've done a couple of times in the last sort of 6 or 7 months. That is something we've done in the past, but not regularly. It seems as though there's a slightly different tact. Getting rid of some of the top earners at the club, whether it be Rashford, Casemiro obviously is very much on the transfer list. Jadon Sancho's already gone. I think there does seem to be some kind of coherent steps, but a lot of this is just making the club not be sort of embarrassing and old-fashioned. Going from this, where we're just being a little bit more sensible, to winning titles, that's the really hard bit, and presumably the bit they'll never share with us. So we'll have to wait and see in 5 years when they go, look, Mission 21 worked, it was amazing. Or whether it'll just be they tried something and it failed. But I don't, unfortunately these things end up coming out and there's a dossier and there's a file and you have to call the PDF something and it ends up being Mission 21 and you look like, something from a Tom Hanks film. But I guess this is just what happens, isn't it? Hopefully they know what they're doing and they can actually stick to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I do feel like if we do win a title 21, this won't have anything to do with it. I just can't. I know I'm very cynical.
But they're the ones making the decisions.
Right.
So if we do win a 21st title, they would have to get some of the credit. You would, because otherwise, why didn't it happen under the Glazers? Why didn't it happen under another manager and all the players? So we'll have to see. But they're not everything that's good or everything that's bad about Man United. There's a lot of people who take responsibility for where we are. They would take some of that responsibility as well, especially if things go well. I don't know. You'd have to give them a little bit of credit.
I don't know. I mean, if we do win the title number 21, maybe. But it's just like, I don't know what's in this for starters.
Yeah.
And it might just be win more football matches than anyone else in the league or something.
Imagine it
do you know
was.
what I mean?
And
win loads of games.
Just that.
Score more goals than the opposition.
Yeah.
Win more games than the 19 other teams.
Yeah.
Or get more points than the 19 other teams. Sign better players than anyone else has got. And you'll win. I don't know, to be honest with you. I just personally find this all a bit cringe.
Yeah, it is a bit cringe.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I do. I think, right, if I was, if we were top of the league, right, and the Scousers were in the bottom half of the table, and they had someone that was mint at sailing that had come in and said,
he's not that good at sailing. He's never won the America's Cup.
You know what I mean? He was good at, a cycling expert or whatever. Or he had some success at Team Sky, and the Scousers went, he's come out of a blueprint for us to get to title number 20, even though they're probably going to do it this season. I'd laugh my head off at him.
Yeah.
I think, look at the state of them.
It is now.
Like, this is what they're doing. We're here probably about to win the title, going great guns in the Champions League. They're in the bottom half of the table, and they've got this geezer coming up with a blueprint for Mission 21. This is mint. Yeah. I just find it a bit embarrassing. I'm sorry, I just do. I think it's like, oh my God, we're through the looking glass. That's how it feels. And maybe I'm just being a little bit harsh, and maybe we do need something like that. Let us know what you think about it. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Richard says, you bought this, get real. Must have sold the series to Netflix. Mission 25, getting top half of the league, laughing emoji. I mean, that would be a good start to the mission, wouldn't it?
Maybe it is.
Phase 1, get to the top 10 in the Premier League.
You can't get to the moon without leaving the earth, Jay.
That's very true.
Just think about that.
David O'Connor says, another leaked story to embarrass United fans, but I'm actually getting immune to it now. BMW Racing 1974 says, it's embarrassing. It just does feel a bit. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It's a bit now.
I get it. Maybe it's one of them where he's gone to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He's gone, Jim, I've got a PowerPoint I want to show you about how we're going to win the league. And Jim's like, yeah, whatever. Just email it to me, I'll have a look.
The name, like I said before, the name is embarrassing. It's a bit naff. It's a bit silly. But let me flip it a little bit. And let's say you see an interview with Jim Ratcliffe, of Dave Brailsford, you meet him, and you say to him, how are you going to take Man United from where we are now back to the top of English football? And he says, I don't know. That's worse. So the fact that it's this cool little cute name, and that it's like summed up in a little punchy catchphrase like Mission 21 is pathetic and, like you said, a little bit embarrassing. But if he didn't think we could ever win the league again and didn't have ideas about how to get back up there, that would be more worrying, I think.
It would, but are we not... slightly sort of going down the Glazers route here, in the sense that one of the big criticisms we had of the Glazers was people like Richard Arnold, people like Ed Woodward, didn't have the experience in football, didn't have that knowledge, and they had too much power. Now, this guy who's been good at cycling has come in and said, oh, apparently, you know,
he's going to be increasingly involved in performance.
Is there not an element of that where it's kind of like, these are the sort of things we criticise the Glazers for, because we went, well, that's not a footballing person, and he might have experience of success elsewhere, but this is different. This is like a specialist subject almost.
Well, I agree, and I see the similarities. I think there's two major differences.
I mean,
one is
I want to be convinced.
He has owned and been not owned because he works for Ineos. He has been part of a company that has owned other football teams.
Okay.
So it's a start. It's not been successful.
No, that's fair. That's more than Ed Woodward.
It's more than Ed Woodward. The second thing is he has been successful in sport, and obviously football is different to all other sports, but it is a sport. So that is another. And the third and most crucial thing for me is below him you've got Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox, who have both been successful in football in the Premier League. When it was Ed Woodward, it was literally just him.
Yeah.
And when it was Richard Arnold and Murtagh, it was just them.
Yeah.
At least with him, he's got more sporting experience than any of them three have. And you've actually got real football people below him, between him and the manager. I don't love the fact that we get rid of Ashworth and all of a sudden he's doing loads.
Who's James Morton?
I don't know. I don't know who James Morton is actually. And I was going to ask that before. He's worked under Dave Brailsford before and is a former Liverpool nutritionist.
Fucking hell, that's worse.
All right, have you ever seen an inch of fat on Mo Salah?
That's a very good point, well made.
Morton Gammon Pedersen.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get this is Ineos, he's the sort of Jim Ratcliffe's right man. Like, you know, he was going to be involved. I just find it all a bit naff. Do you know what I mean? I just think a bit like, I've got this blueprint, and me and James Morton have been working on this, and this is how we deliver title number 21. And you're like, right, okay.
Sexed up dossier.
Yeah, it just feels like, how's about you just fuck off, get out of my way, and let me manage a football team and get me some decent signings, and then we'll win titles.
Maybe that's all it says.
Maybe it is, yeah. maybe it is. I don't know. I know at the minute we're in the worst bit under Ineos.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is the start.
Yeah.
Changes have come in. A lot of them unpopular. Some of them I don't agree with. Some of them we'll wait and see. But we're not seeing any results from them yet.
No.
Hopefully,
what we're seeing now,
rather than later, we'll see something where you go, okay. It just feels there's a lot of planning and promises at the minute, innit?
Yeah.
The stadium, Mission 21. Was it Barada who said we're going to win the title by 2028? It feels a lot like this is what we're going to do, but we're not seeing any reason to believe it just yet.
All that's happening in reality is we're hopefully at the sort of the worst part of things will have to get worse before they get better. We're here.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's another reality where we get fucking relegated and these sell to someone even worse and it gets even worse again. But hopefully we're here. So all that's actually happening right now is things cost more, people are losing the job and we're losing shitloads of matches. That's the reality of being a United fan. So these sorts of Mission 21s feel more optimistic, more kind of sort of, harebrained than ever because we couldn't be further away from those things.
Yeah.
But when we say things, or when people say things are going to get worse, and Amorim says it and he says it, this is what they're on about. And we obviously no one's stopping supporting Man United through this, but hopefully things start to sort of come round and we start going up that hill again instead of sliding down it like we have been for the last 18 months, basically. We'll see. We'll see.
Philip Glover says, if anything, I'd be less worried about daft things like this if they were communicating properly with the fan base, not coming up with things with titles that look good in a boardroom. Yeah, I kind of agree that. I get your point, Joe. Like, we'll have to wait and see.
It's all just wait and see, isn't it? Yeah.
Like, I understand that there has to be some sort of plan going on.
Yeah.
It's all a bit cringe at the minute, and I'm getting very jaded with it all.
Yeah.
And I always think of, that whole thing goes through my head, like, what would I think if this was them lot? What would I'd be laughing at him, I'd be mocking him. This would be ace if it was the other way around, but it ain't. It's us that are going through this absolute carnage at the minute, whilst our rivals are flying and it's horrible.
It sort of reminds me of a little bit, and it's not the same, and I know that it hasn't amounted to quite what they wanted it to. But I remember about 12 years ago or so, and I think it was Greg Dyke when he was head of the FA, they released that dossier, didn't they? how we want to challenge and win the World Cup in 2024, whatever it was, the Euros. I know, again, they didn't obviously end up doing it, but it was talking about new training facilities, a new way of coaching throughout the England setup, and all these, what at the time was around 45 years or so of just sort of disasters and managers and failures and all that. And they said we want to do this differently, we want to restructure it, we want to coach differently through the age groups, promote from within, and we want to challenge for the World Cup, and then we want to win the Euros or whatever it was. And they almost did it, and they got to 2 finals, and England have been the best they've been in 50 years. I remember when that came out, there was a lot of, what the fuck are you on about? We're awful, we've just, I think, failed to qualify or something in that ballpark, been knocked out shamefully as we always did. And it did amount to something, not trophies again, obviously, but at least things improved, and there was a reason to sort of follow that through line. Maybe this is something like that feels a bit silly
like
now.
The City group in 08, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently they looked at what was going on.
Yeah.
Because I think they bought City in 08 and they were like, look, this is the plan. And at the time, United had just won the Champions League. Everything, City
a million miles behind us.
I think they finished 11th.
Yeah, and just everything about them as a club
was just
in the rearview mirror.
Different universes. Yeah. But they were like, look, this is our 5-year plan, and within 5 years, or within 4 years, they won the title, and then obviously within 15 or whatever it was, they'd won the Champions League. So I get it. Yeah. It's just right now we're in a bit where you look at it and you go,
yeah,
it's like
we are losers.
Yeah, it's just
losers pretending to win the league.
You know, and I feel like I'm in that sort of phase. I'm like, Ineos have released, Dave Brailsford's come out with this, and you think, fucking hell, shut up. Let's just beat Crystal Palace for once.
Yeah,
before we start worrying about
score a goal against Crystal Palace.
Score a goal.
4 games in a row that they've had a clean sheet against us, by the way. What on earth?
Sam Z says Joe looks like an OG player with the white denim. I don't know what any of that means, but I'm sure you can. Like a, yeah. All right, nice, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or fuck you, depending on whether it's nice or not.
Nomad Joe says they're on pace to complete Mission 21 if it's losses in a season.
Love that.
Well done, bro. Smash that. Eh?
Send that chat to the King.
To what? Edward?
Print it off and send that to King Edward right now, because that was brilliant.
Will do. Very good.
Really good. What we got next? Here we go. Oi, oi, oi. More Garnacho dough needed. Okay, so what are the goods and the bads about this one? The AI generated picture, it works, but I hate it. Garnacho dough, I give it a 3 out of 10. Needed, I like. I like the double play. The only problem is there has never been any link between Alejandro Garnacho and pizzas at any point in his career. Has there?
It's this.
Napoli. All right. You know what? It's really good. It's the home of the Neapolitan pizza, Jay.
Right, okay.
I'll give him that.
Yeah,
I really like it.
Yeah.
No, it's good actually. More Garnacho, because we need more dough, and we'll get it by selling Garnacho dough. And we'll. Yeah.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
No,
I actually really like it now, you know.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad you like it.
You're still not keen, are you? You're still thinking about Project 21, aren't you? Mission 21. You can't get over it. Jay's lost it. Jay's absolutely furious.
I'm sick of this banter era.
You're going to break into the stadium.
I just found this all a little... I like it. I just found it all a little bit unnerving.
Yeah.
Just everything about it.
Yeah, that picture's really
like
sad.
The picture... It doesn't quite look like him, but it looks enough like him for you to know who it is.
Yeah.
The whole pizza thing, and I was a little bit
woozy almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to me in my stomach.
I felt a bit
sure.
like, but it's all right. Do you know what I mean?
Everything's. You're fine. You're safe. Everything's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
Let me read through this.
Okay.
Napoli sporting director Gianni Manna has said that Alejandro Garnacho's financial demands were too high.
Yeah.
Napoli, by the way, great city.
Yeah?
Oh, one of my favourite places I've ever been.
Is it not called Naples, or is it actually called Napoli?
This guy. Garnacho, 20, was among the players that Napoli had considered to strengthen their attack in January.
I'm being genuine.
So much more of an aggressive way of me just saying, I don't know. I just thought, I'm going to take the piss out of you. Like, I know. No,
I just thought, like...
I think, right, it's one of them things where
I'm not taking a piss. I genuinely thought it's Naples, and that's just like...
I don't know either.
Oh, right,
but I think what I realised when I was there, and correct me people if I'm wrong.
Well, you've been.
Yeah, is that Naples is like the English term.
Ah, right,
like France, they would say Francais.
Right, okay.
I think Napoli is what the people of Naples would call them.
Right,
Naples.
Right, okay, sorry.
Anyway, Napoli sporting director Gianni Manna. Garnacho is a player that we like and we have liked. We considered him even before future Kvaratskhelia departure. We made a very important offer to United. We came close to their demands, very close. In order to leave the Premier League in January, because in July it's different, the player probably wanted to be satisfied financially. It's something which we can't do right now. We are no willing to do it. I don't know why he's from Glasgow all of a sudden. We're not willing to do it, and I don't think it's right. So there you go. He's come out and done a little Donald Trump-style press conference detailing exactly how they didn't get played in the markets. Basically, Garnacho wanted more money than they were willing to provide, and the deal didn't happen, according to him.
He just needs a good game, Garnacho.
Yeah.
He just needs a game that he's capable of having, even on Friday. Just get him get going again, get your season going again. It just all seems to become a bit miserable, doesn't it? And like, obviously all this nonsense hasn't helped, but I think if he gets a good game, gets the crowd going, gets his confidence back, he is a good player. I don't care what anyone says, he is. He's very talented. He is. And then hopefully for the last half of the season, we can get some goals and assists and something out of him, and then it'll all be rosy again. And then even if in the summer, if we have to have a sit down with him and say, what do you want to do, and what does the club want to do, and what's happening with PSR, have that conversation. But let's see something out of him, because I feel like this season, what are we in February? I don't feel like he's got going, Garnacho.
No,
like,
not at all.
How many games has he really
Barnsley
smashed? And And Garnacho was a player that, when he was 18, tore City apart for 20 minutes at Old Trafford. Do you remember? He came on, he was just like, oh my God, what is this? It's like, he is mint, but it's all been a bit like meh. And it's sad to see, because he's much better than what we've been seeing recently.
I'm seeing more work rate out of him. I'm seeing him chasing back harder with actually sprinting, trying to win the ball. I'm seeing him do a bit more off the ball, which is a start.
And do you know what? I don't mind even as much that he gets tackled, that things don't quite come off, that okay, he needs to get his head up more. But at least he's running at his defender. At least when he's trying that, I can live with that. He's not gone into that complete shell that we saw a little bit with Jadon Sancho, where it's like, I'll just get the ball, just pass it back, I don't want to. Do you know what I mean? Even Marcus has done that at times. But I feel like with Garnacho, he's still got enough about him to try and do things. It's just not coming off for him. So the work rate is there. We just need a little bit more. I just think the confidence. The work rate's there. The confidence and belief is just what's needed, because he's still got that directness. Absolutely. It's just not been happening for him. Let us know what you think in the chat. YouTube says Morrison's selling oval pizza that's award-winning. It's about £4. That's more like a proper pizza. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the ones in Napoli are trying to copy.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
So when you went to Napoli, they were like, and you told me where they're from, they were like, have you had the Morrison's pizza?
Well, there's all sort of like old kind of frescoes, old paintings or tapestries of the Morrison's shop at Morrison's. That ditty is playing constantly throughout the streets and over Tannoy. There's all pictures of the Morrison's logo and the little pizzas.
Do you know what? I think some of them take pizzas from, because I've seen a load of lads in Napoli shirts in Morrison's and Eccles. Yeah. Like, just getting all the pizzas out of the pizza fridge.
They call it a pizza pilgrimage. Where people from all over Naples will come to the Morrison's in Eccles, get the award-winning £4 pizza, take it back to their family, their friends, whatever, and they'll mummify them, they'll keep them underground so they last for a very long time, they'll put them in jars, they'll pickle them. Pickle pizza is very popular over there.
Is it?
It has to be the Morrison's one, yeah. So, obviously, England gave pizza to the world, which is one of our great inventions, along with chips and bonfires, and that is something that Napoli owes us, I think. They should probably pay us a little bit more, the fact we gave them pizza and I think pasta as well.
I think we should pay you more for that little monologue. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You almost had me believing it.
I almost had
let's talk about the next one.
What we got? There you go. Let's talk about Set, baby.
Let's talk about Set, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about Set.
This is quite good, actually. United preparing a summer move for Athletic Bilbao. Sancet.
Yeah, I like it.
It's good actually.
I think that's the best one of the night.
Do you?
Yeah. Really, really impressed with that.
Pizza for me.
What?
Pizza for me.
Pizza?
The dough one.
Garnacho dough needed.
Yeah.
That's growing on me.
Yeah.
But I quite like it's nostalgic as well. That's my era.
Yeah, I was going to say. So who
Salt and Pepper, I think.
Was it?
Was it Salt and Pepper, that song?
Yeah. It's a very edible evening tonight, isn't it?
Spinderella on the decks, obviously.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was who it was.
Do you like Cinderella, the Disney show?
Not really.
One of my favourites growing up.
There's a lot of dithering going on.
I like that chubby mouse mate.
Oh, yeah. I quite like.
I'd like to do that on him.
Yeah.
Then we just give him a little sideways squeaker.
Do you know what I mean? I thought the sisters got a bit of a bad rap.
What, the evil stepsisters?
The ugly sisters.
That's what it's.
What sort of a chance in life have you got if you're known as the ugly sisters?
I know, it's not.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they were the best looking, but it was a bit mean.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And also with modern technology. Do you know what I mean?
Bit of rhinoplasty, eh? Do you know what I mean?
Jobs
Bit of nipples up, bit of both sides. You look lovely.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just because your feet are covered in boils doesn't mean you can't be, the wife of a prince.
Also, what's my man doing running around the kingdom putting slippers on people?
Truly pathetic, that, isn't
it?
it?
Let's just put some slippers on your daughter. No, fuck off, you nonce.
How old is she? Yeah. What do you think? She wasn't even there,
I don't know what
mate.
she looks like, but if I just put the slipper on, I'll know it's the one I love.
Yeah, because there's only one person with size 6 feet in the whole fucking kingdom, isn't there? What? How unique is the shape of it? She's got hexagonal feet. She's got the round, like nail-fronted foot of an elephant or something. How many people have got the same size feet? You absolute moron, idiot. Anyway, sorry.
Let's talk about.
Sorry, United are preparing a summer move for Athletic Bilbao midfielder Oihan Sancet. Or Sancet, depending where he's from. He's been a key player for Bilbao this term, scoring 9 goals and providing 3 assists in 23 appearances across all competitions. The 24-year-old, praised as exceptional by FOTMob, classic.
You love all that, you.
Classic fucking reliable, has this player got any quality to him, FOTMob. I think FOTMob scouted Bobby Charlton when he was a kid. FOTMob, that's just a website that tells you whether someone's done a completed pass or not.
How are they telling us that?
AI.
Is it AI?
I don't know. What in the robot-generated hell is FOTMob doing saying the words exceptional?
When you say like FOTMob says he's exceptional, what does that mean? Like, who is it?
No, who is it? Do they have journalists working for him?
The thing itself? What, the algorithm?
This is absolute bollards.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't either.
Praised as exceptional by
FOTMob.
Transfer marked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
That's weird, isn't it?
Like,
your driving was praised as exceptional by the DVLA. Like, they don't do that. That's not their job. This isn't a thing.
Give it, like, watch it. Like, United will buy him because of that.
Yeah.
Like, well, he's praised as exceptional by FOTMob. By what? By who? Yeah, that's a bit bizarre, isn't it?
Like a coffee machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, very weird. He's earned 4 senior caps for Spain to date and scored once on his debut against Scotland in October 2023. Bilbao fear that Man United's offer for Sancet could be difficult to match, but hope that the 24-year-old will remain loyal to his boyhood club despite growing Premier League interest.
Oh, it's these lot.
These absolute fish RJs, mate.
Yeah, they love a outrageous
You're
story.
Fish RJs out of water, these lads.
Love that.
Don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, spot on.
I think this is BS. What do you reckon? It all is. Well, I don't understand any of it. The review of him as a player is by a website that just automatically does stats based on like what someone did in a game. How is
a
it?
website with stats praise you?
I don't know.
Like, they can give you the stats, surely.
Yeah, but that's like eBay saying that you've got really nice hair.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. That's not what they do.
Like,
not you, obviously.
Obviously, that would never happen.
Just any, But that's weird, isn't it? That's not what
they... feels like they're giving us his Uber ranking.
My PlayStation said it loved me.
My Uber ranking is 4.83.
Yeah.
Let's get him.
Uber described Jay as hilarious.
Yeah. Like, it's a bit weird. I don't get it.
Nice white neck, hasn't he? You've got to admit that. Look how prominent his neck is. Almost head-sized, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? Could you see that? Galloping through the Old Trafford
top
pitch.
Of a Man United.
Yeah. Sticking out the top of the Manchester United coach.
Yeah.
Out the sunroof.
Standing astride the coach. Yeah, I could see that.
Could you?
Like the giraffe from Madagascar driving around.
Hands here again.
Fucking hell.
Listen, his giraffe like neck aside.
Yeah.
His numbers are great. Well, decent.
They're fine.
Fine, sorry. They've gone backwards, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're great, they're fine. Got a few caps for Spain, which isn't easy. But let's not pretend we know loads about him.
No,
we don't.
don't.
And we'll have to do a bit more research than going off what bloody FOTMob say.
Yeah, they're having a very good season this year, Bilbao.
Well, don't we potentially play them? Is that?
Well, not this round. We're both in the Europa League, so we could play them at some point, but they're not.
Could we play them in the final at their ground as well?
I'm not sure when we would play them based on the route, but it's isn't it Sociedad that we could play like next round?
Right.
It's not these. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Not particularly overwhelming in terms of his appeal. And again, I guess 4 senior caps is all right, but for a 24-year-old, 4 caps it's not blistering stuff, is it? But again, it could be a late developer.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's very difficult to really get to the nitty-gritty of that. Yeah. We'll have to have a proper look at him and do a bit more of a scouting thing. Yeah, Liam Clark says he's actually similar to Herrera, who was an attacking midfielder for Athletic Club, who we decided to try and play as a defensive midfielder. Thank you, Liam.
So maybe he comes in that sort of number 10 spot. One thing about Athletic, which is incredible actually, Bilbao, their recruitment policy of only playing people from the Basque region is amazing. And the fact that they've been consistently a top flight team and at times challenging for Europe and Champions League and titles occasionally is remarkable. How consistent they've been to say they've got this very sort of antiquated recruitment policy, but something amazing about that, I always think.
Yeah, it is actually. It's a bit of a throwback in it. I'm not like mad bothered about where you're from when you're playing for someone, but it's like a swap.
But it's a cool kind of
quirk that no one else does.
Yes.
Like it's not. You have to go back with Celtic in 1967. Yeah. To find a team that sort of did that successfully. So yeah.
And also, it then lends itself in particular to this though. Remain loyal to his boyhood club because of that recruitment policy. You would assume they have a much higher ratio of boyhood fans playing for them because you lived nearby, so you probably had a decent chance of supporting them. So them, Bilbao have sold a lot of boyhood Bilbao fans because of the nature of their recruitment policy. So I don't think that would necessarily be a huge obstacle if the past is anything to go by.
We'll keep an eye on that one. We'll see what's happening because, like we say, Fajajis isn't the most reliable source, but there could be something. Could be a bit of fire to that smoke. Any more?
Yeah, one last one, and it's just a bit of a sort of a legacy transfer because this one took, obviously, Malacia joined PSV Eindhoven. When I see her again, what's that about then? Malacia.
What?
What song?
When I See You Again.
By
what?
who? Charlie Puth.
Charlie Puth?
How's that go?
I'm not saying it.
When I See Her Again? That's not Charlie Puth, the Fast and Furious one. Isn't that...
Go on, Jay. Get him, Jay.
Yeah, you just said it. Wiz Khalifa, isn't it that one?
Yeah, but he's not doing the singing bit. Wiz
is
Khalifa does his little rap and that, but I don't.
So is that the name of the song? Singer. When I See You Again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just called See You Again.
Yeah. Oh, it is by Wiz Khalifa. Who actually does the little background piece? Oh, it is, and Charlie Puth. Yeah.
Right. Sorry. So the song's See You Again.
Yeah.
But this is reference to the Fast and Furious song.
How come it's a reference to the Fast and Furious song?
They split off on that road. I thought you
Because
know the song.
No, we didn't know the song.
Well,
we do know the song now.
You've changed the words, which didn't help us. We thought, well, you've added a when in.
That's what they sing.
Oh yeah.
And I. The song's just called See You Again.
I can't just see her again, can I?
And what have you added this as well?
No.
Have you?
I love it. I was thinking, I wonder if you'd seen that picture. Because when I saw it, and I thought, where do those glasses come from? He's never had a kit and glasses is something you very rarely
real?
see. Except Ethan in PE as a kid.
Oh right, okay.
It's very rare to see someone wearing a kit and a full set of glasses. How many times
I didn't even know he wore glasses.
Did your glasses get snapped in half while you were wearing them playing football?
Why has he started wearing glasses now?
3 times it happened to Ethan. Yeah,
Right.
I thought that when I saw the picture because obviously he's not actually playing, so he can wear his glasses.
I suppose it's a generational thing. Like, if it was like, when will I see you again? I'd have got it. Well, that's an old song, isn't it?
Yeah. No, there is some merit to it. It just didn't quite land on this occasion. I think that's fair enough, Ben. Sorry about that.
No, I know. Part of it is because I just keep seeing CIA, and that's not, is it?
No.
Do you know what I mean? When I CIA again.
Yeah.
No.
No, not for you. Malacia's gone to PSV. We knew it was going to happen, but weirdly, it didn't happen on transfer deadline.
Should be a news presenter with that, actually.
I mean,
oh no, so much happened.
He's gone and he's fine.
You know it. It is a shame.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, yada, yada, yada. And before you know it, you played for PSV Eindhoven.
Yeah.
Listen, let's all move on.
Yeah.
Like, decent player, didn't quite work out, wish him well. I feel like we're crossing a line into treating him like, you know, Sir Bobby Charlton, the amount of energy we're spending on a kid that just didn't quite work out. Yeah. We wish him well. We've covered this story and we've covered about him quite a lot. Yeah. Hopefully, you know, he gets his move, and it's all very sad what happened. And that's that.
Fucking hell, that was worse than me being a newsreader, that.
I just feel like we're spending a lot of time talking about Tyrell Malacia. And I'm sick of repeating myself. I was saying, like,
no,
you know, he did well, he played those 4 games with Luke Shaw, and, you know, he's there against the Scouts and Southampton and Leicester and Arsenal when we had that run on Ten Hag, and then he got that injury, and then he had some tragedy as well. It's all very sad. And then he had the operation, didn't quite work out for him, and he came out and he's not quite looked the same player that he was before. And we don't really think he had that much to lose as well. And it's not like he hasn't had a chance under Ruben Amorim. He has given him quite a few minutes, and, you know, there was some good performances. The 45 minutes at the Emirates in the Arsenal League game, he did quite well, but ultimately you can't quite rely on him. So I think it is best he moves on, and we wish him well, because he's a nice lad. He's got a great attitude. He's always smiling. We really like him. It's a shame. It just feels like we say that every fucking day.
Can we clip that, and next time anything about Malacia comes up, we just play that? Because I think we can save ourselves a lot of hassle, don't you? But yeah, I agree.
Seriously, I do like Malacia.
Good luck to Malacia. Yeah. It hasn't worked out, fair enough. Came in as a backup, not worked out. There you go. See you later.
I thought you were going to do the whole thing again.
I should have done. Oh, I should have done.
I thought you were going to go.
God, came in like
we lost the first 2 games. Then he came in. Luke Shaw got subbed at Brentford. You know, he played against Liverpool, big game. He got us that, helped get us that win. Played against Southampton, Leicester. Then against Arsenal. You could see he was struggling against Saka, but we still got the win. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously he played his part. We finished 3rd. We won a trophy. It was a productive season, but he got injured. He didn't play the rest of the season.
So annoying. It's
a good point. And he had that the operation that didn't quite work out.
Yeah, good point.
A bit of tragedy as well. He lost someone in his life. Do you know what I mean? Came back and it was just one of them. Yeah, and now, you know, he's been given a chance under Ruben Amorim, but other than the 45 minutes of the Emirates, not really shown enough, has he?
No, you're right.
I mean? But he's a likeable guy. He's always happy.
People never talk about those things you just mentioned. I'm really glad you brought that up. Thanks, Jay. I think that's everything. Unbelievably, we're done.
I feel like the puns got better as the
they got into the stride a little bit.
You what? Sorry.
We thought it'd be the opposite.
What, you thought you started with the flourish and they tailed off a bit? Yeah. No, I quite like the let's talk about bow set. Yeah. Was it? What was
Let's talk about bow. Jay walking into a Japanese restaurant.
Bow set. Yeah, nice.
Let's talk about bow. What is it? Right, that's going to be all from us, because I think the longer this goes on, the worse it gets. Thank you, Jay. I'm taking over here. Thanks, Jay. Thank you to everyone at home. Well done on the puns. Like we said, they got a little bit better, didn't they?
I think, you know what it is? We've just been a bit too woke with the Luke Shaw thing. It rattled me a bit.
Did it?
Because I don't like, United player and wank.
No.
In the same player.
It
felt like we were saying he was wank.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit like, all right, but it wasn't really. Yeah. It was the Shaw wank redemption or whatever. Shaw's wank redemption. It was Shaw, yeah.
Stop repeating it.
Sorry.
We've moved on, Jay. Honestly, we're back in the morning, of course, with the news. And you'll be all right by then, won't you?
Should we talk about Tyrell Malacia?
Yeah, let's talk about Malacia. I mean, he obviously played well. See you later. He played very well, and he did this.